Hey, thanks so much for tuning into the Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth. Today is Talk About It Tuesday. Before we get into the scripture, before we get into what we're going to be talking about today, I want you to think back on your life. Think back on some of the things you've said, some things you've done, maybe some of the people that you've been associated with, or maybe a company or a group of people. We can probably all go back and think, man, you can be ashamed of maybe some of the things you've done or said, or maybe you've been associated with. I can think back of my college days. I was a valet, not a ballet. I was a valet driver. And that company, or the people that worked there, were not the highest of moral authority. And they would do certain things that I wouldn't agree with. And they knew that. They knew that I was a Christian, a Christ follower, but I was associated with them, and they would, write different times on their time clock and leave early and then have me, hit the time clocks in that way. And then they would take certain tickets so that way they would steal money from the company. And I was so ashamed of being part of something like that or having my name associated with that group of people. And I think we can all look back and think back of times that we were ashamed of, some things that we've done or said, thought about, or maybe even being associated with. But the encouragement today, the challenge today, is for us not to be ashamed of the gospel. We talked a little bit about that yesterday and how God has compelled us to share the good news of Jesus Christ because of his love for us and because of his grace. See, this is something that it's not earned. And we talked yesterday about how we need to be walking, talking billboards. And hey, if we really believe what we believe in the scripture, we need to be shouting out, and maybe not literally, but we need to be expressing to others and encouraging others the love of Jesus Christ. Listen to Romans 1, verse 16. For I am not ashamed of the good news about Christ. It is the power of God at work, saving everyone who believes. And it's very sad when people feel like, well, I can't share this good news because I'm not sure how people are going to receive it. I don't know how they're going to think of me now. And we can allow fear and trepidation to keep us from sharing the good news of Jesus Christ. But listen, why shouldn't we do that? Why shouldn't we be ashamed or fearful? Because at the second part of the verse in Romans 1:16 says, it is. See, this good news of Christ, it is the power of God at work, saving everyone who believes. And see, here's the thing. We don't have the power. We don't have the authority to save somebody, but it is the power of God at work in us. And let's be bold now. And I want you to think about it for Talk About It Tuesday. I want you to think about a friend, a coworker, a family member who has not received the good news of Jesus Christ. First, pray. Pray for opportunities. Pray for an open door. And then be praying for a boldness to step through that opportunity so that way God can use you. And maybe he would use you. That way God can reveal himself to that loved one, to that friend, to that family member, to that coworker, or maybe to the person that you don't even like, but they still need Jesus as well. Let that be an encouragement and a challenge to you today. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for the Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth.